Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
All right, welcome to the debut episode of Inside Metal, our very first premiere episode. What do you think about that, John Bush?
I think that you got your cherry popped.
I certainly have.
On TV and radio, dude.
And what better way to get my cherry popped than with John Bush?
Well, that's
Just kidding, folks.
Getting a little bit weird in
All
the
right.
beginning here, but that's all right. We'll roll with that.
John Bush, we'll roll with that. There's
Yeah.
no editing here. This is, of course, the first episode ever of the Inside Metal
Congratulations.
show on TradioV. Well, thank you, John Bush. And I wanted you to be my first guest or co-host.
I'm
kind of
honored.
a co-host.
I'm honored. Or we have a long history, you and I, Bob. So you know,
Since what, 82 or 81?
probably goes back to 82.
First show I saw was at the Woodstock.
You were there before Joey was
Before-
there.
That's how long I go back.
I would hold that over his head forever.
I think
if
I
were
will.
you.
And before their bassist, Joey Vera, you had an original bass player.
Yeah,
that did
Mike Williams.
2 shows with you guys? Or?
He did several. We played
Yeah.
Gazaris, you know.
Oh, really? Okay. So
You know.
that's awesome. And then I was pen pals with Joey, and that must have been early '82. No.
Joey joined around May of 1982. As a matter of fact, I really kind of feel like that was the beginning of Armored Saint. Nothing against the original bassist, but you know we needed Joey. We wanted Joey. We didn't feel complete without Joey. Then we got Joey, and
Absolutely.
and there you have it.
And Joey tells that whole story of joining Armored Saint in the Inside Metal movie, which I guess I might as well promote. Oh, look at there I am on the screen. I didn't even
Wow.
see that. Dude,
All
look at
right.
that good-looking guy. Oh, look at that, man.
Yeah, that's gonna get
Oh,
the ratings up.
now he takes it out. There it is.
All right, ratings down.
Ratings are dropping. Look at this. Inside Metal DVD featuring Armored Saint amongst other bands. Look at all the goodies.
Oh, don't mind
inside.
that porn
That's
that just
all
fell
right.
out there, Bob.
shit.
Oh,
Come on,
okay,
come on,
that's
come
the
on, come on.
DVD.
There we go.
You're all right.
Inside LA Metal, and I was just saying, Joey is a part of this. Joey Vera. John Bush is going to be in the next one, right?
Cool.
It's going to be the basically the I guess we could call it the conclusion, which would be Inside Metal, and that one is going to be called. I don't even remember the second one. The LA Metal Scene Explodes. That's when you're going to be.
Dude, you're a
involved
filmmaker now.
Hey,
come
what can I
on.
say?
You got to blow your own, skirt up. Come on.
And Joey talks about joining Armored Saint for the first time in this.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He laid down a little history.
He laid down
Awesome.
from Greg Leon Invasion going into Armored Saint.
Yeah, I don't think Greg Leon was too happy about that
Yeah.
defection that happened there, if that's the right word. He took off, and Greg was a little sad. But
Yeah.
we were childhood
we
friends.
have Greg in this as well. And Greg didn't
All
seem
right,
too-
then there
too
he
sad
is.
about
There's
that,
his
so
bone.
There he is. Right on. So anyway, talk about some of those early shows with Armored Saint. First time after that show, I went to Pasadena and saw you at Pookie's.
Right.
Which was, I believe, Joey's first show with the band, right? No, you did the Battle of the Bands that you guys
Yeah,
won.
no, I don't think that was the first show. Pookie's was
That was an awesome show. dude.
Pookie's was a cool venue back in the early 80s. It was in Pasadena. It was basically a deli. And then they would have bands play there, and they built a stage, and they actually made it bigger. I saw Motley Crue there, among many other
Gina
bands.
Zamparelli booked there, right? Or no, she did the Ice House.
No, she did and the Oddfellows Hall.
Oddfellows, that's
yeah,
right, that's right.
But Pookie's was a place that we actually used to frequent, me and my friends and the guys in Armored Saint and other friends, and we would always try to sneak in. We, for whatever reason, probably because we didn't have much money, we always wanted to sneak in. And then it became this kind of thing of like, we have to sneak in just to do it.
Right.
Because we always would piss off the bouncers there. And it was pretty funny. And a lot of times we got kicked out.
Well, I remember the cops came out one night, because that was the first time I actually saw true headbanging in Los Angeles.
Well, the reason is because of that, we kind of created this whole aura of us and Pookie's. But then we told them, like, we really do have a band.
Right.
Like, we're not just these guys, punks, just trying to sneak in. We really do have a band, and we're actually kind of popular and growing and getting bigger and bigger. And this is our, this is our neck of the woods here in Pasadena, East Los Angeles, whatever, Alhambra. And then finally, I guess they decided to give us a shot. And so we said, hey, man, we got to blow this out because we've, told everybody we're going to, we set it up big,
Right.
and we had to follow through. And we did, and I think to that point it was the biggest show they ever had, and it was mobbed, and It was a great gig. So
Dude,
we
that was
called,
rad.
but we made the flyers that said the Pookie's Massacre.
Right.
Because we still were throwing digs at the Pookie's people. I don't know why we were so getting under
You were
their
an
skin.
angry bunch of fellas back
We were,
then.
you know,
dude.
18, 19 years old. We were young.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember the cops showed up there and in riot gear. Like somebody must have called like a riot because you guys all did stage dives. And I
Right.
think that was, you know, I mean, before you had the
Forbidden.
punk shows, but you know, back then it was like, whoa. And everyone was doing stage dives. I remember the cops coming in and there's a riot going on, and it was like, I'm going, fuck, this is awesome. I mean, it reminded me of watching those old Maiden videos that you used to see back then, or Saxon or Motorhead that you would see. You know, I mean, we're talking 1981, so
Well-
nothing like this really existed in LA, and it was just nuts.
We took a lot of inspiration from all those bands. You know, Armored Saint was this kind of, we were this weird quandary because we were from Los Angeles, but we had such an inspiration and influence by the British and European bands, as well as some American bands. We loved Aerosmith, loved Ted Nugent. You know, there were certainly bands from the U.S. that we were inspired by as well. But the Maidens, the Priests, the UFO, Thin Lizzy, those are the bands that really just did it for us. And especially when that new thing was happening with the new wave of British heavy metal and bands like Iron Maiden and Def Leppard and Saxon, we said, hey, let's create that kind of environment here in Los Angeles, because LA was more of a hair band scene even back then, and bands that we went on to play with, Rat and Great White, who were great bands, but we kind of didn't sound like them. We took a lot of our style from those British and European bands, although of course very proud of being from Los Angeles nevertheless. But so we told a lot of friends, come to the shows and go crazy and cause havoc. And we had a lot of friends who were, of course, more than willing to do that.
Right.
You know, so we did that. And I think that people weren't used to seeing that. So it started having this kind of domino effect and trickle effect where people were going, these guys are crazy. Look at these fans. And it grew from there.
Well, I'll tell you, this was the first band that banned the chairs in L.A.
At the Troubadour.
At the Troubadour. When
Right.
you guys did the Troubadour show, back then, we're talking up till 82,
Well,
they had chairs. It was a dinner
Even
theater.
Metallica saw with chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
well,
when
we
you
told
guys
them, we're like,
played-
look, you're going to get them knocked down, and people are going to knock them over, and they're going to have drinks, and they're going to spill. So we're just telling you, we're giving you a fair warning that I would move the tables. And they were, I guess they took us up on it.
Yeah,
So
well,
they moved them.
I think they had no choice at that point.
Yeah, we started that off because they're not.
And they didn't mind because you were bringing in the people and
Yeah.
selling the drinks, and it was. But before that, I remember seeing Wasp, the place absolutely packed, and still with the tables and chairs.
Right.
And Blackie throwing meat at the people, and they had nowhere to duck or
Well,
run.
they were
'cause
getting it. They were eating it.
Exactly.
I'm
So they
at
just
my
put the
table.
raw meat on their table.
That's
and-
right. Get a drink. How about some A1?
Exactly.
There you go.
There you go. But talk about some of the shows you did with Wasp back then. I remember you started out opening for a lot of the bands, Rat and Wasp. You kind of, after the Pasadena, you built this huge following in Pasadena. You kind of moved into L.A.
Yeah.
Like you said, you kind of did stick out like a sore thumb because you were much heavier. And Metallica really didn't quite make their way into L.A. yet. They were doing a couple shows, and it was pretty much you and Metallica that were kind of that started that real British style of metal. 'Cause
Right.
back then it was, L.A. kind of had their sound. I mean, Wasp was heavy as hell. But
Sure. And a lot of those bands were great. Like I said, we played with all those bands: Rat, Great White, Wasp, Black and Blue,
White
Steeler. I don't remember White Sister, but I mean, I remember them, but I don't
Right.
remember playing shows with them. Obviously, Bitch, and
Sure.
I mean, the list goes on and on. But we did our thing, and we're getting a sign here. 5 minutes. That's all you got left, Bob. Your show's not working out too well.
Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I
That's it.
apologize. It's all his fault. No. I think that means we're doing a break. Is that right? We're doing a five. Oh, look at this. They're giving us 5 minutes to let us know that we're going to do a break.
All
right.
right,
I'm
anyways.
new to this. This is my first TV show.
That's right. You're Cherry.
That's
we talked
right.
about that.
Absolutely.
Anyways, so we did play at the Troubadour. We loved the Troubadour. I still love that place. I have a very strong feeling for the Troubadour, even though they don't really have a lot of hard rock shows there anymore, which is a shame because I love that place. Whiskey wasn't open then. Roxy played a lot of shows. Obviously, the Country Club.
Roxy didn't do too many shows.
They
Too many
did. We
rock
played the
shows.
Roxy a few times.
Yeah,
we
you
did. Yeah,
Well, we'll see.
so
We'll show some pictures.
yeah,
and we'll
we
show
played the
some
Roxy.
stuff. Yeah.
So, and I haven't
That's
played
true.
the Roxy in years. I'd actually kind of like to play there again. Although they're not really. It's the Whiskey seems to have the corner of the
Whiskey is now. I
scene
think
now.
the Roxy is. They're not doing too many rock shows.
Not
anymore.
too many.
They're doing some different kind of stuff, and of course, no more Key Club. House of Blues is closing
I
down.
know that's ridiculous.
You know, all these clubs we've been talking about. You know, they're all closing down, and that's something that's kind of killing the scene now. There's not too many places left to play for.
Yeah, that'll be really bad when House of Blues goes down. Obviously, we don't need another hotel, I think, in L.A. on the Sunset Strip, but obviously some developers think we do, and that's way
It's
out of
all
my
about
hands. Yeah, but you know, we had some great times back then. We played with a lot of those bands. We had some great shows. Everybody went on to put out records and had different levels of success. And like I said, LA we've always, I mean, for the most part, everybody in Armored Saint was from LA. And Gonzo and Phil were both born in Mexico, but they came here when they were, I don't know if it was illegal or not, legally or illegally, they still came here when they were very young, maybe like 1 or 2. And then other than that, we were all from LA. So this is our home, and we were proud of it, and we still are. And it's LA.
Well, the cool thing that's so rad about Armored Saint is you said you guys started. You were all high school friends or grade school friends.
Great, elementary school.
And
the 4 of us
stuck together since 1982, and Armored Saint never broke up.
For better or worse.
You were in Anthrax, as a lot of people know, for about what, 4 years?
I was in Anthrax for 4 years.
No, more than that.
I was in Anthrax for 13 years.
Holy crap,
dude!
13 years. What am I saying? 4 years.
Just about 13 years.
Okay, well there you go.
4 records.
4. That's what I meant to say. 4 records.
I guess I didn't.
It seemed like a short
impress you
time.
much in my time. 4 years.
No,
right?
we're going to talk about those records in a bit. But during that time, Armored Saint still did do shows here and there. No, you didn't do?
Once I left the band, go on without me.
Yeah,
Come
there you
on.
go.
No,
Well-
I'm not completely kidding. A little kidding. But no, I mean, it disbanded when I joined Anthrax in 1992.
Okay,
And
so you had that little hiatus, but
Yeah,
guys
but-
are back. Same band, essentially, of course.
Same band, of course.
Dave had passed back in
Dave Pritchard
90.
died. 1990. Yep.
And but still the original 4 guys.
Correct.
Back together with Jeff Duncan, of course.
And Jeff, has been in and out of, started in Armored Saint and came in, his first shows were at the Country Club in 1988. It was a back-to-back night with Fates Warning at the Country Club in June. That's when they still were serving alcohol, because after that, when they stopped serving alcohol at Country Club, then it died.
Right.
But that was still when they were still had their liquor license, and we did 2 nights sold out at the Country Club, and that's when we acquainted the LA fans with a 5-piece band.
That was a rad show.
Yeah,
That
so
was amazing.
and Jeff was there. So Jeff, I mean, that's
Book of
88.
Blood.
We're talking about how long now? If I could do my math, 98, 2008. It was 26 years. That's
All
a long
right,
time.
we're going to come back. We're going to show some great classical photos of John Book
With hair.
coming up. Yes.
Hi, I'm Moby, and you're watching TradioV.
Hey everybody, Sean Astin here. You may know me from Goonies, Rudy, The Lord of the Rings, but actually my calling is as a political radio show host. So I am proud to announce that I'm bringing my show, Vox Populi Radio, right here to TradioV, Radio in TV. Thursdays, 12 to 2, live. Did I say that it's live? Live. Call in, tweet in, check in. It's gonna be your show.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Crazy Bone.
Man, I'm the bum Keith G, man.
And whenever you sitting at home and can't shake the monkey off your back,
Yeah.
then just know every Wednesday from 7 to 9
That's
p.m.
right.
you can tune in to the Quick Fix and get your fix on, man.
Right here on TradioV.com, baby.
Radio and TV.
Now, how they gonna see us on the radio then?
Radio, I don't know. Or is it TV and radio?
But it's
one of 'em.
I gotta figure this radio and TV thing out though, bro. I don't
it
understand.
together.
I'm gonna
Get it
tell my
together.
mom how she gonna see
Get
us.
it together.
Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
was no hip-hop. There were no boy bands. There was no punk. There was nothing. It was rock and roll.
You could sense when you went to Hollywood that it was, felt like there was more girls. You know, the rainbow, you know, Richie Blackmore, Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin.
Parties were like a phenomenon back there.
Things started happening so quickly, we were like kind of like thousands of kids would show up.
But LA was doing it.
People underestimate the power of the 70s influence.
But that whole scene, you know, in LA was the scene.
The meddlers against the punkers.
He gave him some blow and a couple of quaaludes and cocktails, and all of a sudden, you know, it was game on.
Helicopter shining a light down on everybody, man.
You give a young band like that, you know, a couple $1 million, they are going to get fucked up.
It seemed like we had the world by the balls. And we did. The LA scene was huge. God, it was wild.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Right.
What do you
the
think of that?
filmmaker. I think, dude, you are Scorsese, Brian De Palma, all wrapped up in a Bob Nalbandian film. Right
There you go.
It's
Well, maybe
impressive.
I'm thinking that because I did a 3-hour movie, so maybe I got the ego of those guys, thinking I could do my first movie at 3 hours, 2 DVDs. As I said, it's going to fall apart. There you go.
You need a little
That's
meth
just
to come out
screener,
of there to
actually.
keep people alert to watch it. I don't. Can I say that on TV?
No, absolutely.
Meth.
Say that again.
Meth.
There you go.
My doctor's name is Dr. Meth.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody recommended
is he an
it.
addict?
He's not. He's a very sweet man, but
What
it's
kind
funny.
of doctor is that?
Yeah, proctologist.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Not joking. Although he's been there. He's got to examine the prostate. It's part of being a man.
I
It's
guess
a bummer.
so. Yeah.
Never been there. Anyways, no. But good job, Bob. You are. What did LA Weekly call you about your film? They said you were you told me there was a term that they used.
Yeah,
They called you a.
You know, my mind, I don't know. You told me.
I can't remember. I'm trying to.
They called me something. I think it was good.
No, it was. It was a very cool, complimentary kind of slang term. They said
Yeah.
I'll try to think about it. I didn't read the article. You told me.
Yeah.
So I was
got
going,
it.
dude, that's quite an honor. LA Weekly is, pretty happening.
I mean, the reviews so far have been great. You saw the rough screening, and actually you got a screening DVD here.
I did.
And you were back. This of course is a first. Let me explain to the people. This is the series is called Inside Metal. This is the pioneers of LA hard rock and metal, and the second one, which will be the sequel, will be called The LA Metal Scene Explodes, and that will have a lot of footage of John Bush as well as Joey talking about the Saint era. This is like pre-Saint. It ends at 81, so that's why, of course, Joey talks about leaving Greg Leon and getting into hanging out with you guys and forming Armored Saint. And then the third one is going to be called The Rise of LA Thrash Metal. And that's going to be a great one as well. So those are the 3 series in the LA Metal, or the 3 titles in the LA Metal series.
That's your George Lucas there. The first 3 Star Wars right there.
Exactly.
You got the first 3, and then years later you'll do something else.
Absolutely. And
after you bask in the success.
Well, I don't know if I'll have too much time to bask because we're getting right into the second one and the third one, so it's a lot of work, man.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, going into the theaters next month.
Are you seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
And you're coming to
congrats.
the big premiere, right? The big
I did
premiere?
just get the email for that,
Yeah.
and thank you very much.
You gotta come
Is
out
there
to
going to
that,
be
the
booze
6th.
there?
Dude, 2 full bars. There's going to be
Wow.
food. It's going to be right. It's the old Cinespace. It's called the Attic.
Right. Cinespace is a cool place.
So they got a great screening room,
Right.
couches, and 2 full bars. It's going to be a party, dude.
Nice.
It's going to be mayhem.
I'm
be like back
excited.
in the old days.
Well, minus the years.
Yeah,
But,
of course. Well, tell me what you thought about the movie and just about that scene in general, because you saw all these bands, Y&T, who obviously were a San Francisco band, but played the Starwood all the time, probably monthly. Bands like Smile and Snow and A La Carte and
We
Greg
used to go-
Leon Invasion.
Yeah, we used to love those bands. We used to go see Snow all the time. That was Carlos Cavazo before he was in Quiet Riot, and Stephen Quadros was the drummer. He was awesome. And Smile, we actually did a few shows with Smile back in the day. They were a great band. They were a band that they kind of should have made it and never really. I don't even know if they ever got a real major record deal.
They did a record on like Curb MCA, but it came out in the '90s, and the band was really unhappy with it. It was overproduced. It was,
Their time kind of had passed.
Yeah,
They didn't get it.
exactly.
They didn't do it because they were really part of the Van Halen era.
They were.
But there were some great bands, and
The Sharks. You did some shows.
we did
with.
shows with
Later
Sharks
became
and
Shark Island.
Yeah,
Of
Shark
course, Richard
Island.
Black is in this.
Yeah, so they were also a very cool band. A lot of those bands were happening and fun to watch, and it was a great time.
All right. And of course, Great White, Dante Fox, they were called originally.
That's right. Jack Russell was. I actually auditioned for
right. That's a
Great
good
White.
story.
What was even before? I don't even think they were Dante Fox yet, but it was Mark and it was Tony Richards, the drummer.
Right.
who
Was Don Costa playing bass?
Don
yet?
Costa was the bass
Whoa,
player,
dude.
and the crazy thing is, this was pre-Armored Saints.
So you were
I
like
was
17?
I was probably like 17, and
Right.
quite frankly, I was out of my league when they started playing. I went, okay, I'm not ready for this. I'm just a little peepsqueak, and they were great,
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, in time, I did eventually see them later on, and then I was ready.
Right.
But not to be in Great White, but to at least play shows with them. But
All right.
yeah, it was cool.
Well, speaking of back in the day, we got some old pictures of John Bush that we're going
boy.
to kind of show,
Here we go.
break out some of the old. Whoa! Look at this picture. Now that is, of course,
What
when
is
you were a
Gonzo
four-piece.
wearing there? I mean, it's a little androgynous.
I think that was a Dave Plastic photo backstage
Dave
at one of the
Plastic.
shows, and of course, you did a few shows as a four-piece when
That was
Raising Fear.
That
came
was a
out.
Raising Fear record.
Oh, look at that! Is that old school or what?
That's awesome.
Wow,
dude.
that is a Rick Smith picture. That had to be one of your first. That could have been at the Woodstock.
No, I think that
actually.
was actually years later because I'm wearing a denim.
Oh, the denim
maybe
vest.
not. Maybe
It had to be because he was a photographer back in the old Orange County scene. He shot the first. He was August Redmoond's photographer.
Okay.
I turned him on to you guys, and he shot a bunch of Slayer and Savage Grace. And
I just don't remember wearing a denim vest early on.
oh, look at this,
Oh, that's a Metallica.
Metallica.
Cliff
and
Burton right there.
Yeah.
Wow,
Where was
that's
that? Was that in San Francisco or L.A.?
I have
That
no
was courtesy of
idea.
Sheila Mars, by the or yeah,
It looks like somebody's backyard or something, but I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen that photo in my life.
that must have been. Oh, here we go. Who's that? Who's that?
John
with her?
Stradansky.
Very good. I just saw him two nights
Nice.
ago.
He's
Yeah,
very
I
tall,
didn't-
and it shows how short the guys in Armored Saint are.
Yes.
Yes.
That
look
was
at
at a Foundations Forum. Here's an autographed photo from your first photo from Chrysalis, right? That was from the March of
That
the
might
Saint.
have been one of the first press
I
photos.
believe
Yeah,
that was March of the Saint.
that's
yeah.
right. All signed. You could sell that on eBay.
Whoa, that show was Billy Barty. Oh, if you look up a little bit, I think I'll say Billy Barty's. But you remember that roller skating rink in Fullerton?
Dude, Billy Barty's was one of our first videos that was ever
I love that.
made,
Yeah.
and with that to this day is actually a very famous Armored Saint show. And
Here's
Billy
a
Barty was there, which was
Yeah.
a trip.
Here's a show with Metallica at the Country Club.
That's
I
Metallica
believe
at the Country
Metallica
Club.
opened up for you
I don't
guys
think
at
they
that.
opened, but
Oh.
we tried to insinuate that they did.
Here's another show, Troubadour. You remember that one?
That was great. Overkill and Savage
Overkill,
Grace.
yeah.
Metal
Great
Massacre
band.
2 night.
Yeah.
That is
John
the
Bush
real
in the
armor. That's right.
Look
We
at that.
only did that one time, which was at
Perkins.
Perkins Palace. Once we got signed to Chrysalis and we headlined there and we sold out, it was packed, and we did this big intro that you could see on the Lessons Well Learned.
Yeah, great. With the
Oh, no,
sword
no, I'm
fight.
sorry, not that. It's the Trip to Red Times video that you could see that.
Right. There you are back in the armor.
That was
what
on
era?
tour. Probably we went on tour. First tour we did was with Quiet Riot and Whitesnake, 1984. It was awesome.
And that was rad because you guys always, here's the first Armored Saint.
That's
photo
me
there.
growing about 4 inches taller than
You must
Dave.
have been on a ladder.
I was, well, at least I was on a box. No doubt about it. I was on a box.
Look at Joey there in the striped Pete Way pants.
Yes, he does. Yes. We still hadn't got the look quite down. Then we got it. Music Connection, they put
Right,
us on the
first
cover, which
cover.
is very, very cool. I don't even know if Music Connection still exists.
I
does it?
think it's just online now, but that was a big thing back then.
It was a cool magazine.
You remember that show in Orange
August
County at the
Redwood.
Woodstock?
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
The
was a
Woodstock
great
was a
show.
cool place, and
You played
side
all
by
over.
side with Radio City, which
Yeah.
are two clubs there in the
That's
same
right.
mini mall or whatever it was.
Look at
Jason
that's-
McMaster,
yeah,
I think, is
Jason.
there.
And who's that guy with the mullet on the side?
That
dude?
is one rad mullet.
That
both
dude-
you and me.
I'm
it
going to
looks
tell
like.
everybody right here, right now, nobody rocked a mullet like Armenia.
Okay, if that's something you want to be proud of, that's
I am.
cool.
Look at that mullet, dude. Chicks love
No,
the
that
mullet.
is right. You can see your ears very well. I see you need a little Q-tip.
Oh,
actually.
speaking of the mullet,
Wow,
you know where
speaking
that's
of the
from?
mullet.
I believe that was from backstage at Iron Maiden show.
You look like you're a little pissed off there. Are you mad about something? What happened? I don't look it, but you look like you're
Look at the corduroy pants and the mullet. Dude, there's nothing that's more metal than that.
That is awesome. You're very stylish.
There you go. Gina Zamparelli. What year was
that
this?
might have been in front of Oddfellows Hall, which was like a
church or something.
Not quite a church, more like Elks Lodge kind of type place.
Yeah.
And it was called Oddfellows, and they started having shows there. We saw a lot of shows, and we went and played a lot of shows
and
too.
Gina Zamparelli, a big promoter.
Mike Piazza.
Do you remember that shot? Alex
I
Solta.
do. That's right.
That was a great night.
Yeah, Mike was a friend of mine. I haven't seen him in a while, but we went to the Super Bowl together.
That was at the
he was
Derby.
a big metal fan. Yeah, I do that in the Derby. Yes.
What
He's
Super
awesome.
Bowl did you see?
It was I don't remember the year, but it was against the Niners and Chargers.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, look
There's
at John.
me, not
Booth.
too happy there.
That was when you first joined Anthrax. That was at
1992.
Yeah, when we were in New York for the CMJ and we were hanging out. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm pissed at you for whatever reason.
Yes. Look at that. Whoa, you just missed one, but
that's all right.
That's all right.
That was Perkins. There he goes back. So that was the show.
That was a big show.
That was the show where I wore the armor. That was, again, once we got our real first, big record deal with Chrysalis, and we blew it out.
Gina Zamparelli talks about how when she got there, she was kind of worried if the place would sell out. She got there, and it was oversold. They had 700 people in line still waiting to get in.
Yeah, I know. She sold us short, and we lived up to it. Yeah. But it was an awesome
I don't know if you can see that, but Armored Saints, Savage Grace, and Metallica.
Wow.
And then below that's Quiet Riot.
The Neville Brothers.
That was the Roxy.
Bengals.
About the Roxy, yeah.
Yeah, Scandal is also on that. Wow, what a trip. Slayer, isn't that Slayer up top?
Yep, there you go. Wow.
Funny.
Yeah. There was one of those shows with the Sharks. Anti-M. That was a rehearsal studio, right?
It was. It was Tom Santia. He was a sound man of ours, and he was in the band. Damn, what was the band
Stormer?
that he Razoo.
Oh, right. No way. I remember that.
Razoo.
I heard them on the Homegrown show on Candy C, and I taped one of their interviews.
It was probably Cammy T.
No, it actually was when Candy C, before they were the Rock and Roll, back in '79. They had a show called Homegrown, like when around the same time the Snow EP.
He kind of helped us write. Maybe I shouldn't say that because he's going to want some money.
Razoo, I remember that band. How about that? Armored Saint,
Wasp and Hellion. We went on Earth first, and Troubadour was great. One of my favorite places. I love that place.
That was a rad place. There is another big show. That was another Perkins Palace show that Gina Zamparelli did.
Yeah, that was when we opened at Perkins Palace, and Wasp was the headliner. I think Rat was over us on that show, even though we implied that we were above them. But I think they were above us.
That was a great. Here's do you remember that tour there?
Grim Reaper, Armored Saint, Halloween.
Now,
great.
Grim Reaper didn't play at the Palace.
They didn't play at the Palace, but that's at the Celebrity Theater.
That's right.
I don't remember playing there.
Y&T.
Did we?
I think you did. Yeah, I think I was at that one. Yeah.
Maybe. All right.
That was when it was in the round.
Yeah, I remember I remember the Celebrity Theater. There was one in Phoenix, the same style as the one in Anaheim. In the round, it was weird because the stage would move, and next thing you look up, and there's different people you're playing to.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna come back with John Bush, talk more metal, and talk about what's going on with Armored Saint these days, because you got some great stuff coming up, right?
I do.
There you go. John Bush, Inside Metal on TradioV.
Can you deliver? I'm all looking at you, laying out the question.
Yo, what's up? What's up? This is Too Short, and you're watching TradioV.
Join Dave Navarro and friends for Dark Matter, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on TradioV.
Dave Navarro here, Dark Matter Radio, TradioV.com.
The universe is vast, enormous, huge, full of stars, planets, and matter. Some of the matter is so dense that not even light escapes.
Get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, Frank.
Pardon me, sir. Pardon my reach.
See, and you guys were worried. I think this is going great.
Pardon my reach.
Get the away from me, dude.
You are really beautiful.
Thanks, you guys.
He's one of the most beautiful people I've ever known.
This is pretty much every week. He brings in a guest that tells him how beautiful he is.
Pardon my reach? If you have to reach over me, then don't do it.
He is the straightest gay guy I know.
Dave Navarro signing off. Dark Matter. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Dark Matter with Dave Navarro, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on TradioV.
Hey geeks, wake up! We got big news. I'm not gonna mumble this time. Geekscape, the long-running movie video game. Let me do one more. Hey geeks, we got big news! Geekscape, your favorite show about movies, video games, comics, and TV, is coming to TradioV Monday, October 6th. And it'll be on every Monday from then on, 7 p.m. Until the apocalypse happens, we're all eaten by zombies.
TradioV. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
All right. That, of course, you are listening to some classic Armored Saint. And my guest here, John Bush.
What's
John
up?
Buch from Armored Saint. What's going on, John?
Tonight's the NBA season beginning.
That is true. And you're a big Celtics fan, as you could tell.
I am probably pissing off a lot of my friends in Los Angeles, but
and I'm a big Armored Saint fan, as you could tell. How's
that
this
is
for
a vintage shirt, dude. That probably
You're
has some moth holes, I'm guessing.
fits. Yeah, I take pretty good care of the.
That's
the
good,
Armored
dude.
Saint
That is.
shirts.
That's nice. You could
Well, of
probably
course,
sell
I
that
did.
on eBay.
Well, dude,
let me
don't
sign
give me
it.
any ideas.
No,
there
I'm
you
joking.
go. We'll split the cost.
Yeah.
So anyway, John Bush, you got a lot of stuff going on with Armored Saint. I got to plug your last album you guys did, if you could see it here. This was La Raza. Oh, there's an empty chair. There I am. Here it is. La Raza.
Here, you
This
got to show
came
it
out-
there. He's saying, look there.
Oh, there it is. I got to look
You got to
right
push it.
there.
He's saying put it
Push. All right,
closer.
here we go.
There you go. There you go. There you go. See, camera, Bob, camera.
Ah, there you go.
There you go.
Hey, I'm new to this whole TV thing. Great album. This came out about 2-3 years ago.
It came out actually in 2010.
Yeah.
So we moved slowly.
This album
but-
just really grows on you. It was much different than a lot of the previous Armored Saint albums. Of course, it had been a while since you had put out a studio record. And awesome album.
Thank you,
Fantastic
bud.
record.
Thank you.
Great songwriting, great musicianship. I mean, just brilliant classic Armored Saint. Not quite as metal as some of the other Armored Saint records, but definitely you could hear the way the band has evolved. And you're working on a new record as we speak, right? We've been
writing songs for about a year and a couple months maybe, and we're about ready to do drums. Everything's done a little differently these days as far as recording wise, but a lot of vocals have been already sung, and it's going to be awesome.
Cool.
It's
Joey
I think
producing?
Joey is going to produce. And he's just really come into his own as far as just a jack of all trades and a master. He's awesome. He's a great writer. He's very, very meticulous in the way he does everything, and he gets the job done. He's written some great stuff, and we have an awesome camaraderie as far as writing together, and I'm proud of what we're doing. I think it's going to be a cool record. We don't have a title yet, but it will come out next year, and then we'll do some shows and correlation with that.
We'll talk about some of the shows. You got some big European festivals coming up this summer.
Yeah, we just got
summer.
a show called the Hellfest today, as a matter of fact, which is in a show in France. Pretty big festival
Pretty
there,
big.
so we're lucky
Yeah.
to get on that bill. We're going to do another one called Wacken, which is a big festival in Germany, in the north of Germany, and last time we played it was 2000. So we'll look a little older now on stage this time because it was 15 years ago, and this is again next summer, both those shows, and another one that I think. Wait a minute, I don't know if I was supposed to talk about Wacken, but it's too late for that.
There you go.
In any case, and
Bloodstock.
then Bloodstock is a show in Britain, and we'll be happy to do that. So we're going to be taking some flights next summer.
Right on.
And I'm sure we'll play something locally as well.
Yeah,
but
you got to do some LA shows.
We will. We like to play LA pretty much every year to year and a half.
I was just going to say, that's what's so cool about Armored Saint, and you've always kind of had that philosophy. You guys never overplayed, and I think that's a problem with a lot of, particularly the bands from the 80s. They get back together, they do a reunion. Like I said, Armored Saint was pretty much always together despite the 12 years you were in Anthrax. I could have sworn you did a couple Armored Saints shows in between that time.
Well, we did. I mean, there was a time when Scott and Charlie did the SOD project,
Yeah,
and at
that's
that
right.
time, in like '99, that's when we made Revelation. That came out in 2000, and then I went off and did some Saint stuff. So
Right.
you have that right.
Yeah, there you go. It's just a little bit longer than 4 years. 4 albums, classic albums. You know, that Stomp 442 album is still one of my favorites.
Cool. Thank you.
I mean, that is just such an in-your-face metal record. But all the albums, We've Come For You All, and of course, the Sound of White
Noise.
Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, Sound of White Noise.
Sound of White Boys. Hey, woo, a little play on words there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm proud of the stuff I did with Anthrax.
Great stuff with Anthrax. For any of you guys, definitely check out those albums. If Anthrax fans or not, definitely a different sound for Anthrax, and that was a real ballsy move because it was real hard for a singer to come in, as you know. I mean, if you look at Van Halen, Iron Maiden, some
Sabbath.
of these Black Sabbath, that goes through that
AC/DC.
singer changes, AC/DC. It's either hit or miss. It could do really well, and in most cases, it's real difficult. I mean, Maiden, of course, was a hit, when Bruce Dickinson, but then they had Blaze Bayley, and it didn't do well. Same with Van Halen. It worked with Hager. It was definitely a different sound, not as good in my opinion, but it didn't work with
guy from Extreme, Gary Cherone.
Gary Cherone, I'm not saying it's Gary's fault. He's a fantastic singer, but for whatever reason, whether it be promotion or whatever, it didn't work. And it was kind of a huge thing to step in. And I remember during that time, we were talking quite a bit about it. And it was a big move. Anthrax got a huge deal with Elektra, and they get rid of Joey Belladonna at the time.
And Motley Crue did the same exact thing
that
right
was the
before
other
them.
band, Motley Crue, and
who
it
also signed
didn't-
a big deal with Elektra. So.
And it obviously didn't work for them commercially. John Crosby, great singer. I thought it was a good album, but the fans didn't take to it. So it's kind of, and your album, that first album, Sound of White Noise, White Boys, that went gold, right? I mean, that was a pretty big album. That was a big album. I remember that tour you did, Irvine Meadows, White Zombie opened.
White Zombie opened. They were red hot at the time. We were lucky, and they were given a run for the money every night. But it was
rad, dude.
it was I think Sound of White Noise, in retrospect, was a record that was almost ahead of its time a little bit. We did have obviously some success with it, but I think it was a record that it was funny because in a lot of my years of Anthrax, we kept trying to instill that it's the same band, it's the same band, it's the same thing. It's we said that a million times, and the truth of the matter is, and I would think those guys would probably agree, is that it really wasn't. I mean, we kind of purposely were trying to do something. I mean, it's still going to be Anthrax. It's Scott and Charlie and Frankie is still the same guys, but we wanted to do something different because that was the purpose of getting a singer,
Right.
So a
Well,
new
that
singer.
was cool. It
So
was-
I mean,
yeah.
I think it was a way like, oh no, don't leave us, fans. It's still the same band. It's like whatever. You made a change, roll with the change, and we did. And it was. Look, I'm super proud of those records. And Joey's back in the band, and they're doing well, and everything happens the way it's supposed to happen in life, for the most part, I think. And it's just the way it went. But I think we made some really cool music along the way. Definitely I'd say a handful of amazing songs that were top notch. Only is still a classic, and I've even entered the idea of playing some shows with a band, playing some of those songs one day in my life. Certainly wouldn't do anything more than maybe a handful of shows, but I've thought about that when the time is right. I don't know when that will be. Quite honestly, I have no idea, other than a slight pipe dream of doing something, because they don't play the songs anymore, which I understand. I wouldn't either. If I was Joey, I wouldn't want to play them either. But I don't want them to just go into this kind of abyss hole, because I'm proud of those records. So maybe.
Well, not only you, I think there's a lot of fans out there that love those albums. And the thing that was what you go by is it was a ballsy move, because it wasn't just a change of a singer, and they tried to find a Joey Belladonna sound-alike, which Priest obviously did when they got Ripper Owens, who I love, by the way. But they obviously went for the Rob Halford song. Journey, they got a clone. They got some guy that sounds like him from the
he was a
Philippines.
karaoke singer.
He was a karaoke. So, I mean, that really is just kind of trying to clone the old singer. But, of course, with Anthrax, and just like with Sabbath, I mean, that was a bold move for Ozzy. I mean, they were... everyone knows that Sabbath sound with Ozzy, and it was a completely different band with Ronnie James Dio, and I think equally as great. Both versions were just amazing.
Of course.
And that's kind of with Anthrax. It was like a completely different sound. It was a new time.
Right.
Things were changing in the
Of course,
90s.
of course.
And you guys kind of rolled with it, and it worked, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the realms were great. You definitely had a strong following, and I think, if anything, it was label problems that,
Well, there was certainly
hindered.
label issues that the label basically imploded after, we joined. As a matter of fact, Elektra switched presidents after Sound of White Noise, and we had a meeting with the new president. Her name will be remain nameless, but she was a woman.
The initials were SR.
Okay, all right. Steve Ramirez, right? No,
something like
Sylvia Ramirez. Whoa. Anyways, but the point is that we had a meeting there, and we had just made Stomp, and we're sitting there, we're excited about this record, and we're there, and she looks at us and goes, you know what? If I was in this label before, I would have never signed Anthrax. She tells us this as we hand her the record of like, hey, all right, we're ready to go and do a bunch of stuff. I would never have done this deal. And we're like, this probably isn't going to be good. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer, but I'm going to just feel like that this is not going to end up going very well.
And that's a very positive thing to
Yeah,
tell
it was
your
pretty
band.
lame. It was pretty lame. So, kind of shit went downhill from there. But regardless, whatever, we made some really cool records. And, we try to always tell people, it's like, you could like both bands. It's not like if you like the band, you could like the band with Joey and you could like the band with Johnson. Like, you have to take sides, or you can like both bands. I love Back in Black and I love Highway to Hell, and, I love the Mob Rules and I love Volume 4. It's like, you don't have to choose, I only like that, and I don't. And if you truly don't like it, then no, it's fine. But if you do a little bit, you can like it. It's okay.
Yeah. So. Cool. Well, all right. Well, briefly talk about the new Armored Saint record. When it's going to be out? I know Metal Blade is going to be releasing it.
Yeah, we just signed a deal. We actually signed a contract, which is always reassuring and feels nice. Brian Slagle is amazing. He's
what do you mean just signed, Reese? You've been the last few albums were on Metal
we
Blade.
had to.
Right.
We have been with Metal Blade for the last 3 records now. And Brian is awesome. He without Brian there would basically not be Armored Saint. Quite frankly,
he signed the band initially.
Yeah, there would not be a band. I mean, for him. I think it's a labor of love. He's not looking to, go out and buy a new house in, Miami Beach with the revenue that he's going to get from Armored Saint.
Although
I think
he might.
I doubt it. He might not even be able to buy a doghouse in Miami Beach. But regardless, he does it because he cares and he wants it, and he believes in us, and he knows that he likes the music that we're making, and we're extremely honored and happy that he does that. And so we'll make a new record, and it'll come out next year. We don't have a title yet, but we do have some titles of songs. We have a song called Win Hands Down. We have a song called Mess. We have a song called Muscle Memory. We have a song called An Exercise in Debauchery. We also have another song called In an Instant. And we have a song that I want to dedicate to Bob, and this one's called Up Yours.
Oh, I
That's
like
right.
it.
It's
Very
it's
cool.
going to be a great song, a very big anthem type vibe to it. It has doesn't sound anything like Can You Deliver, but if there was a vibe that just kind of felt like that, it's this song. And it's cool. It has a cool title and a fun chorus that could be sing along to.
Definitely looking forward to it. We're going to come back on our final segment with John Bush from Armored Saint on the Inside Metal Show on TradioV.
Interesting as sound, hearing the stand-up, a meeting of the minds must be understood, but never let grin. Could it be
Hi, this is Danny Woodburn, and you're watching TradioV. Did it come up? Are you all right? There we go. He's good.
Hey everybody, Sean Astin here. You may know me from Goonies, Rudy, The Lord of the Rings, but actually my calling is as a political radio show host. So I am proud to announce that I'm bringing my show, Vox Populi Radio, right here to TradioV, Radio in TV. Thursdays, 12 to 2, live. Did I say that it's live? Live. Call in, tweet in, check in. It's going to be your show.
Join Dave Navarro and friends for Dark Matter, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on TradioV.
Dave Navarro here, Dark Matter Radio, TradioV.com.
The universe is vast, enormous, huge, full of stars, planets, and matter. Some of the matter is so dense that not even light escapes.
Get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, Frank.
Pardon me, sir. Pardon my reach.
See, and you guys were worried. I think this is going great.
Pardon my reach.
Get the away from me, dude.
You are really beautiful.
Thanks, you guys.
He's one of the most beautiful people I've ever known.
This is pretty much every week. He brings in a guest that tells him how beautiful he is.
Pardon my reach? If you have to reach over me, then don't do it.
He is the straightest gay guy I know.
Dave Navarro signing off. Dark Matter. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Dark Matter with Dave Navarro, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on TradioV.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on TradioV. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on TradioV. That's radio in TV.
Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
That's a little scary.
Yeah. very
Gonzo
scary.
dressed as a woman.
Yeah. Halloween.
In
his defense.
Because, yeah, we're down the street. If you dress like a woman, you'll probably get paid.
Yeah, and he was actually a pretty good-looking woman. No, I'm just.
Whoa.
All right.
Dude.
That's enough. I'm just giving props to the Gons there. The Gonzo and Phil. They got a couple projects.
They do.
going
They
on,
got
too.
their hands in a couple things. Gonzo has this thing called Black Raven, where he's playing with some Native American guys
stuff,
and doing
yeah.
some stuff. It was cool.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Joey's got Fate's Warning. He just
Joey
got back from Europe.
He's leaving today. He's
that's
leaving today
right.
to go to
Right.
do some dates with Fate's Warning in Europe, and that's cool because he's good friends with Bray and Jim, those guys in that band. So it's cool
Right
for
on.
him.
Well, let's go back to the early days of, when we used to hang out. We used to go to a lot of metal shows, go to a lot of stuff back in the day. And I remember so clearly hanging out. I used to come up from Huntington Beach, and your mom's house in Pasadena, or right on the Pasadena border.
It's technically a little enclave called El Sereno.
El Sereno.
That's right. Of
SA.
It's technically part of East Los Angeles, but it's closer to Highland Park and South Pasadena and Alhambra. That's where it borders.
And that's where we all hung out, man. During, before shows, after shows, or just hanging out during the day. We would, you and I remember it's me, you, and Dave and Joey a lot, and sometimes Phil and
Henry.
Gonzo would come,
Yeah.
and Henry would
Yeah.
come out, and a lot of the old school guys. They would hang out in your garage and just listen to metal.
Well, yeah, I had my
Hang out,
record
drink
player out
beers.
there. My parents were pretty liberal with letting me have my friends come over. They knew as long as we were in there, we were probably not doing anything too bad.
We were probably like, 18 at the time?
Yeah,
17, 18?
I started, that's where I learned how to sing. I would go out there and just put records on and sing to them, and it was my little haven, it was a great place to be. I'm sure a lot of kids probably back in that day, or maybe even still to this day, have a garage that they converted, but it was
That was
fun.
the man cave back then. The
It was
metal
cool.
cave.
Yeah,
And that's where we cranked up all the classic metal. And
I learned a lot about music and life in that place, and it was cool, and it was awesome. It was a fun time.
And your mom was so cool. She would come out. She would make sandwiches for us and stuff, and it was just a great time. And in tribute to your mother, John Bush, let's
Yes.
do a segment we're going to call Betty's Garage.
Betty's Garage. All right.
And what we're going to do is we're going to play some old school metal tunes, and we're going to test John Book's metal knowledge here. So
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. Let's get with it here, because I think we kind of have a time restraint. We'll play the tunes, about 10 seconds of the tunes.
Wow, that's a long time I get.
Well, yeah.
You're playing 10 seconds of the
Of
song.
the song, yeah.
Okay,
So,
how long do I have to name it?
Well, you got to name it right away.
Do I
As
get to
soon as
name
you
the
hear
band
it.
and the song?
The band and the song, and
Whoa.
most of them are going to be the riffs and the leads, because I think the vocals would probably give it away. away in most of the cases.
Is there prizes involved in this?
Well, we'll talk about that a little later, John Book.
Wow,
we'll figure that out.
could be
Maestro, you got the
misinterpreted.
music set up? Here we go. First song.
Come on, AC/DC riff rap.
There you go. John Book. All right.
1 for 1.
It starts out easy. 1 for 1. All right, go ahead. Second song.
Oh, shoot.
Come on, John Book.
Aerosmith.
Yes.
It is Adam's Apple.
No, but from that same album.
Round and Round.
Round and Round.
Shit.
Very cool.
Damn.
John Bush. Well, that's
What?
good. We'll give that to you. All right.
That's it?
No. Right. Let's do number 3.
Oh, come on, Priest, dude.
Oh.
That's Burning Up.
Burning Up. I think it's a little bit more difficult.
We did a version of that. I did it with Phil Crane. We did a song for the Judas Priest tribute record.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was a
Burning
little
Up.
weird because those lyrics could be kind of a little bit gay, and then we sang it as a duet, and that was weird. But anyways, we did it.
In tribute to Halford. That was a killer album.
I love that record.
Hell Bent for Leather.
Yeah, that's amazing.
1979.
One of
Did
my
you see them
favorites.
at the Starwood?
I did not. I missed it, and I'm so pissed at this.
Halford
Still.
driving his bike out down the hallway and shit, down the aisleway and shit.
Did he do that?
Yeah,
Did you go?
No, I didn't. I wish I did. I missed that. I was so pissed.
I'm very bummed.
But I remember hearing on the radio, Halford came on K-Rock. Well, you remember K-Rock used to play a lot of metal then.
Yeah,
He came on K-Rock, and this was like 79, right after the show, and talking. They interviewed him, and he played tons of music for like 2 hours.
Wow,
He was on the
that's
station.
cool.
It was rad. I taped it.
Yeah, I'm very, to this day, that's one of the, it's something that is hard for me to deal with, the fact that I missed Judas Priest at the legendary Starwood. But what are you going to do?
Great album. So you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
You're doing pretty damn good. So we've got 3 for 3. We'll make it a little bit difficult as it goes on. All right, song 4. Yeah. Come on, John Book.
Any vocals?
No vocals. Vocals would
like
totally give it away.
Warlord?
No. Good guess, though. It's from that era. It's from that. We're talking 1981.
I
82.
can't.
All right. There we go. Doing it again. All right. Band out of Denmark.
Well, Merciful Fate.
There you go.
See, I didn't get vocals.
Well, dude, that would give it away. Come on. King Diamond's vocals.
All right.
You know.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
That was from the first
that?
EP. That was a Corpse. Was that Corpse Without a Soul? God, I don't remember. I think it was Corpse Without a Soul.
That's pretty bad. I missed that. All right.
That's a great EP, man. Here we go. Now, this you got to know, John Bush. Oh, dude. You don't know this? I'm going to.
Oh, wait.
I'm going to dive across the table and slap you. Come on. Dude, legendary guitarist. Passed away recently.
Oh, Montrose.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
What song
no more
is that,
hints.
though?
Oh, dude, come on, man.
But that's not on the.
It's not on the debut. It's the.
Was that with Hagar?
Yeah, with Hagar. It was their second album,
was
Paper Money.
Oh,
From the Paper
shoot.
Money album. I Got the Fire, of course.
Oh,
It wasn't a great album, but that song was amazing. What a killer riff. Maiden did a cool version of that.
Oh, yeah, it sounds familiar.
I can't believe you didn't get that.
I know. But
that
you're
might
not
knock you
giving
down
me
a few.
vocals.
Well, dude, I mean, come on. Hagar's vocals, that would give it away right away there. You know?
But I'm a singer.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, let's go. What are we in? Number
That's
5?
debatable.
Yeah. All right, dude. You don't get this.
Rainbow, Stargazer.
Oh, yeah. Greatest song ever recorded.
Wow.
I will say that. I would. Yeah.
Hey, it's classic. Ronnie
What do you
James,
guys think?
baby.
Yeah, they look at it. They agree. See, there you go.
Great song. Amazing.
Absolutely. Didn't want to put the vocals on that. All right, here we go. Come on, John. This is from 79. No, this is from, well, it was recorded in 79, released in 81.
I can't hear you. You're talking over it. Oh, it's Riot.
Ah,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, of course. It's Outlaw.
John
Yeah,
Book knows his metal.
Well, Riot is a
Outlaw.
great band.
Dude.
Amazing, underrated band.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
underrated
one of the
band.
greatest
Yeah.
American
Guy
metal
Speranza.
albums.
He quit to be a exterminator.
Yeah.
Then he ended up dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Probably not the best
And Mark
decision.
Reale recently passed away.
Yeah, that
too,
sucks.
the hard
Great
rock,
band.
yeah,
Really underrated,
absolutely.
actually, especially those first
That
two records.
album, dude. Well, it was actually 2 and 3. It was Narita and Fire Down Under. They did Rock City was their first one.
Right.
In 79.
I
Very
can't
underground.
See, I should be quizzing you.
Well, we'll do that next time.
All right.
But this time we got another song here.
Scorpions and Cells of Sharon.
Very good.
Nice.
Guitarist?
Yeah. Oli Roth.
Yeah. We got
Incredible.
2 more and 2 more minutes. So
That
we
song
got
just
plenty.
has Germany written all over
Yeah.
it.
All right, here we go. Speaking of Germany,
Well, hold on. I mean, I know this. Why?
Dude, come on.
No, shush.
Play it again after it ends.
We're trying to. I don't know.
All right, one more time.
Michael Schenker Group, UFO. It's UFO.
Yes.
It's, I'm trying to think of the song. Hot and Ready?
No, same album.
Pack
Very
it up
close.
and go.
There you go. John Book. Yeah. All right, last one, last number.
Y&T.
There you go.
I love that band. They were such a great band back in the day.
That's pretty damn good, man. I'm impressed. John Book knows
Thank
his
you.
classic.
Well,
next
there's
time
a
I'll have to
couple
make
of
more
screws.
difficult.
Yeah.
No, you got that. I mean, you got him pretty quick.
I used to go see Y&T at the Starwood when they were Yesterday and Today.
Yeah.
And that
Speaking
was
of the
with,
Starwood.
amazing. And, and I saw them before they even put that record out. So
wow,
yeah.
that was, dude. That is old school. Y&T, they're a part of this Inside Metal documentary series. Got some great interview footage of Dave Meniketti. Joey Vera from Armored Saints in this. John Bush will be in the next one. Check this out. It's going to be in the theaters coming to you in November. Look at metalrockfilms.com for the theater dates. Coming to DVD the first of the year. My great guest, John Bush.
Thank you, guys.
Check out the new Armored Saint on Metal Blade Records coming out a couple months. Next year. There you go.
Next or like spring.
Thanks for tuning in to the Inside Metal Show on TradioV. Join us next week.
More homework on my songs.
There you go.
You are watching TradioV, Radio and TV.